Yes, sir. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I have put this one off long enough. I think now enough information has at least come out to where we can start discussing this. And this is probably something that we're going to have to continue to discuss as time unravels. We got to get into Shannon. Got to get into Shannon Sharpe. Now, I am from Savannah, Georgia. I live in Savannah, Georgia. Shannon Sharpe is a Savannah legend. Shout out to Fly J, the only one still holding it down for us and not getting involved in mischiefs. But we got to discuss it. And I think enough information has come out to where I can comfortably discuss it. Now, this is for my folks out there that are subscribed to my channel for Christianity purposes. Sometimes conversations about sex can kind of get shaky with Christians, and I just want to let you guys know that's what we're about to be talking about. So if your kid's watching, if your wife is watching, this would be a good time. If your wife is watching, I mean, if your kids are watching, this would be a good time to say, hey, turn the phone off, go play in the room, whatever. I don't know. I know a lot of you guys like to watch my channel up on the big screen or whatever. So just, just giving you a fair warning. That's all I'm trying to do. So, all right. With that being said, man, if y'all are ready to get into it, let's get into it. But before we do it, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're really feeling froggy, double click on that subscription, become a member. I sure do appreciate all of you guys, man. Let's just do it. Let's get into it. All right. For those of you guys that don't know, Shannon Sharpe is a legendary football player, played for Savannah State University, went pro, Hall of Famer, and he partners with Stephen A. Smith today on ESPN on First Take. And he also has his own podcast, Club Shay Shay, which has a ton of sponsors, which is going to get a little bit shaky. Disney is connected with ESPN. And then he has his own independent podcast, Nightcap or whatever, and then he does something with Ocho Cinco. And he's continuing to work through all of this, which is, I like that. I think that's smart, because I have enough information to talk about it. I don't have enough information to tell you whether he's guilty or not guilty. So we're going to talk about the in-betweens here. But I wanted to give you guys, if you didn't know what's going on, a little bit of what's going on. All right, let's dive in.
Shannon Sharpe stepping away from ESPN in the wake of rape accusations, saying he needs to handle the, quote, false and disruptive allegations set against me. He's also now sharing
I think that words are important too, and I think that his team is probably, he probably has a team of lawyers that's telling him what to say, when to say it, how to say it. But I think that his lawyers are fumbling this left and right. So
stepping away from ESPN in the wake of rape accusations, saying he needs to handle the, quote, false and disruptive allegations set against me. He's also now sharing a lot of information about his relationship with his accuser, admitting he may be into kinky stuff, but insisting he's no rapist. According to his team,
it was from the get-go what some people would call very kinky sex, BDSM, and that the sex was from the start about choking, putting on dog collars, handcuffs.
And that the audio clip her lawyer released was just how they talk to each other.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
And he's saying,
now I want to talk about that for a second, because this is very important. I think it's pretty safe to assume that if you were into kinky sex, listen, if you're into it, you're probably into role playing. And I think that there's a very strong case to be had here that he may have been role-playing in this situation. I don't think that it's right for us to take what he said in conversations in private with this girl as the shining example not the shining example, the determination of whether or not he is guilty. I think that that's crazy. I don't think that that's enough evidence.
There's clearly a difference between rough sex and forcible sex. He knows the difference. It's like a weird thing to say. It's like, I'm gonna choke you in public. Oh no, you're gonna choke me?
It's like saying, oh, have I been bad?
Ew, don't help on this one, okay?
All that being said, as at some point she goes, no, then that means no.
Well, that's the question.
And in one released text message, the accuser says she was upset.
But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on. And what's beeped out right here? Why is something beeped out? And you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. But guys, I don't want to be the one that says this, bro, but this could all be considered role play. All of it. It's weird role play. I would not want to role play like this, but this is weird role play nonetheless. Or it could be role play nonetheless.
About one of their encounters and added, I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. Now, what about Sharpe's attorneys saying they offered her at least $10 million to settle, which she refused?
That's not a bad thing to me either. Yeah, Shannon just lost his deal with the ESPN. A lot of people say if you're innocent and you're pleading your innocence, why would you offer a settlement? Why would you settle? Well, the reason being is because of all of his deals with Disney, ESPN that has the ties with Disney, all of his sponsorship dollars that are coming in. He was about to sign a $100 million contract, I believe. Yeah, to keep this under wraps so that it doesn't go crazy all over the internet. Yeah, please. Here's $10 million just to shut up. I understand that. But I also understand how that looks bad. And I also understand that if the accuser is telling the truth, why she wouldn't take a $10 million settlement. So I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. Things don't look good for Shannon, but I am trying my best to give him the benefit of the doubt where I can give him the benefit of the doubt.
Why would his attorney offer that up publicly?
To me, her turning it down shows that it's not a money grab.
No, it shows that it's a bigger shakedown.
What's more,
It's kind of a good point. By her turning it down, it does kind of insinuate that, no, this isn't a money grab. Because are you turning down $10 million if it's a money grab? I think most people in the world would just take the money.
sources say she initiated the BDSM sex, and this went on for about 2 years.
Their regular routine was that Shannon then they would.
Why was that relevant?
Well, that may be for a judge and jury to decide. Stay tuned.
There's a lot to unpack here with Shannon. I think that based off of the information that we have, right, Shannon is pleading his innocence, saying that he's into kinky stuff, but he knows the difference between kinky. I think that we're having to base everything off of a character assessment, but the issue is that we don't know the girl. So how do you base it off of a character assessment? And at the very least, at the very minimum, Shannon, you should be facing some sort of consequences somewhere for being 55, 56 years old, messing with a 19 and a 20-year-old little girl, bro. I'm 35, and I think that that's a little girl. I would feel totally uncomfortable even having a conversation like that with someone in that age range. That's literally 8 years older than my daughter. It's weird. But if we put that to the side, does that necessarily mean that he did something wrong? I mean, the age is 18, right? So no, technically you didn't do anything wrong, but morally, if we're judging things off of character assessment, I think that you morally kind of robbed yourself there just by the age differential. And I don't want to see Shannon go through this, bro. I love Shannon Sharpe. Always have. And I've always thought that he was a man of outstanding character. I didn't like the way that I do think that he's a sucker sometimes. Like when he interviewed Kamala Harris, bro, he went real easy on her, bro. Real easy on her. I guess that's what you got to do. But then he also is heroic for certain interviews like the Cat Williams interview, which most people I think would probably shut that interview down or edit it to the point where it wouldn't have rang out the way that it rang out. But, you know, character assessment, that's important here because character assessment does play a part in these types of trials. It does play a part in these type of allegations where someone is speaking out against you, because if you have good character, most people would assess that you're probably innocent. But like I said, morally, you've kind of robbed yourself a little bit by just merely admitting to being with a 19 and a 20-year-old girl, no matter how kinky you are. Now, a lot of this stuff that's being said in the audio clip, Shannon did say in the beginning, he said, listen, I implore you, you're going to release a little 30-second snippet, a little 3-minute snippet. I implore you, Busby, Drop the whole thing. And it's important to know that the lawyer of this girl is known for money grabs. He just tried to do it to Jay-Z. He's tried to do multiple jabs at Diddy, which takes away from it does take away from the oomph that's really going on with Diddy, right? Because once you start throwing all these accusations at a wall, trying to hope that one sticks, you're taking away from the people that actually deserve to have some sort of compensation or some sort of legality, fairness on their part that have really gone through it. So I don't like Tony Busby. I don't like the money grabs, but then it's also, what do you know? Like, you only know what your accuser is telling you. So if he feels like she's telling the truth and he fights for her, maybe I'm wrong about him. I don't know. But overall, I don't really rock with Busby like that. I guess that's more character assessment. But with the audio clips that came out, I don't think that it's right to judge everything based off of those audio clips. He could have been role-playing. She could have been role-playing. God only knows, and they only know. I can't imagine Shannon Sharpe in the character that I have seen him have. And listen, I do this for a living too. I get in front of this microphone for a living too, and there is a differential between who we are on the microphone and who we are in real life, but it's slim. It's slim. I mean, if my wife watches one of my videos, it's not like, who is he? I don't even know him. You know what I mean? I am who I am. I bring that to the microphone, and he does the same thing. So you can't differentiate your character to that level, I don't believe. I also think that it's just really important to say, too, that if you are nearing a $100 million deal or whatever, however much money it was a big deal. If you're nearing that and you're getting ready to sign a contract that's going to change your life, your children's life, and your grandchildren's life forever, bro, it's probably not smart to be out here doing kinky stuff with little white girls that are 19 and 20 years old. Wouldn't you think? That would be the last thing on my mind. I'm trying to be professional. I'm trying to exemplify my professionalism to the world so that they see that I deserve this deal. I can't imagine it, dude. I can't imagine it. If somebody came and offered me $500,000 to do something for my channel, yeah, I'm on my best behavior, bro. I'm doing my best to be my best. I don't understand. That part I don't understand either. I mean, you have to know that a 20-year-old white girl that knows who you are isn't going to keep stuff like this under wraps. You have to know it. You have to be smart. Like, have to be, bro. And the last thing that I want to touch on is him saying that he will be back at ESPN for football season. Dog, you ain't going to be back on ESPN for football season, brother. It's going to be a hot minute. You might not be back on ESPN for next football season or the next football season. It's going to take a while. Because like going back to character assessment, your character is being assassinated. And it's largely because of you. It's because of the decisions and the choices that you've made. Shannon, those choices it's not unfair, brother. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not unfair. Like, oh, woe is me because this girl's coming after me. You should have known, dog. You should have known better. I'm 35 years old. I'm married, but I'm 35 years old. I would know better than that. I would know better than that. I'm 35 years old with 8,000 subscriptions, and I wouldn't do, like, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing, bro? You're ruining everything. And that makes it difficult in the case of character assessment to have your back. The morality has to be set in stone, bro. And what you exemplify to the world is what you should be aiming to exemplify in real life. I truly believe that. I try to do that. So, I don't know, man. It's shaky. And do I believe that he should be stripped of his credibility as a whole? Not until he's proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. No. But do I believe that he should be facing these consequences? Yes, I do. You made a terrible choice. Terrible judgment call. It is what it is, brother. So with that being said, I guess I'm out, man. I'm going to be eyeballing this. I'm going to be hoping for the best and praying for the best. If we find out that Shannon Sharpe has actually done what he is accused of doing, anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible, and nothing really surprises me anymore. But that really sucks. As a Savannaian, he's a hometown hero, bro, and it just sucks. It does. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.